Hello, I'm Lars Elstad. I'm the head of innovation in the municipality of Ullensaker. I was hired to establish a new organization to help us become more efficient, and the snowball really started rolling from there. So in Ullensaker, we are now working on what we like to think is the most exciting IT project in the public sector today. And joining us on this journey is Innofactor and Eirik.
Thank you, Lars. So my name is Eirik Engvik, and I work as a consulting director for Innofactor in Oslo, Norway. I've been working together with Lars since early February in 2020, where we're actually doing a really cool project. We are actually moving a municipality to the cloud.
Ullensaker and our region is probably one of the most interesting regions in Norway, we like to think anyway. We have a vastly diverse population with approximately 20% of our population born outside of Norway. In addition, we have an unusual young population, which we like to think lays the ground for a mindset for innovation in our municipality. In Ullensaker, we have a massive infrastructure. We have Norway's main airport. We have two main railways, and we have two main highways. This gives us a unique position when it comes to business development and consequently population growth, making this a unique market, I would say, for developers of all kinds. So the key drivers for us as a municipality are mainly the growth of population and our mix of businesses. The thing is that people pay taxes, and taxes are what we need to deliver good services. Ullensaker is the fastest growing municipality in the country, growing at almost 4.5% per year, which is a lot. This year we just passed 40,000 people, and by 2030 we should pass 50,000 people. Growth is great, but for us it creates some unknown challenges. People need infrastructure. In particular social infrastructure such as schools, kindergartens, but most of all, it puts a pressure on our services and our capability of service delivery. A municipality delivers somewhere around 200 different services to its citizens. And as we can see from the diagram on the right, the need for workers in fields such as health is enormous actually. The increase in population does not match the level of services needed, and we can simply not afford to keep delivering our services as we have always done. We need to innovate, and we need technology. So, what are we doing in Ullensaker? Today, we are a part of a regional IT collaboration with our 5 neighboring municipalities. After a political decision in December 2018, we were asked to evaluate this collaboration. So what we did was a very broad approach really, involving large parts of our own organization, suppliers, other private businesses, and of course other municipalities around Norway. What we found through this evaluation is that we need to rethink the way we organize our business development and IT in Ullensaker kommune. We found some clear needs the organization wanted to meet. We need to be in charge of the strategic directions ourselves. We need to put our own needs first, Ullensaker's needs. We need innovation as part of our core business. We need flexible and scalable technology. We found that to be extremely important. And we need to focus more on security and privacy internally within our own organization. And we need to increase our application knowledge in order to innovate on the applications and we already have, that already exists. And finally, we need IT support closer to us, closer to the organization itself. With that in mind, we hired KPMG to help us develop a new target operating model for IT business development. This was based on their established framework for target operating model, where we went through 6 layers. It's a very interesting process, really. And these 6 layers are process, people, service delivery model, technology, performance, insights, and governance. And after we went through all this, we created an Ullensaker specific model, which is now our working IT strategy. And this IT strategy document is really explaining how to build a new 2020 organization using 2020 knowledge and technology. This led us further to 6 new principles for digitization, which are now core in our new governance model. And these are: strategies should always be interdisciplinary throughout the whole organization. Always focus on the end user in all development. We work together and we share our knowledge. The technology should be available where the users are. And we will use data to understand needs, and this is really important. And finally, we need a flexible model for sourcing and infrastructure. We really need the right partners, and this is where Innofactor comes into the picture, I think.
Okay, thank you, Lars, for the nice background from Ullensaker Municipality. We at Innofactor are embarking on a really exciting project together with Ullensaker Municipality. Through this project, we are working on several complex challenges that we also think are relevant to other municipalities in Norway or in the Nordics in general. Ullensaker is establishing a new platform and has made its strategic choice to establish everything in the cloud. We are in the process of moving the existing platforms and application portfolio to public cloud. Ullensaker has chosen Azure and Microsoft as its platform. Behind this decision there are several considerations, and Ullensaker has several principles or requirements that we need to follow as a partner when we build this. As you see here, there are some overall or high-level principles. New, we start with blank sheets, so this is brand new. Modern, it will primarily build on public cloud like SaaS, PaaS, and of course modern components both internally and externally. Flexible, to have to be also be able to integrate with legacy services, and it must be scalable and must support the need for rapid service innovation. Secure, it must be built with security from all elements from all the starts. Access control, encryption, auditing, and so on. And of course, agile, to support continuous integration, deployment, automation, and self-service. Ullensaker has also several important principles, both within their operating model and the established architectural principles in general. At the start of the project, we spent a lot of time designing an architecture within Microsoft that stood firmly against all the architectural principles and governing documents that they had produced. Through our collaboration, we have established a reference architecture or a goal architecture, if you like. An architecture that describes how to establish a platform and services for a municipality in the cloud in 2020, 2021. We also see a great opportunity to share our findings with the others, be like other municipalities in Norway. So I thought I'm going to give you a little bit of technical dive into their architecture. So Innofactor, we have been working with Microsoft public cloud services for many years. We've been working with it since the start, to be honest. Over a number of years, we have been working with transformation for both public sector and private sector to the cloud. The sum of our expertise is our framework, which is Cloud Journey. Since we started this, Microsoft also released a own CAF framework, which is Cloud Adoption Framework, and the phases of the CAF are described in the slide here. Through such a project, you work systematically through strategy, planning, competences, and of course implementing a platform. At Ullensaker, we at Innofactor took over after KPMG, which had delivered an excellent and good structured documentation for the strategy phase, but also stepping a bit into the planning phase of Ullensaker's cloud journey. Now we have established what we call a landing zone or a virtual data center in Azure for Ullensaker. We've done this with our own solution, Virtual Data Center. The solution is our best practice and is infrastructure as code distributed in the customer's platform. Through our virtual data centers, we establish manageable, secure, and cost-effective data centers. This is the code library and architecture that we have developed over several years, and we have implemented it in both public and private sector. In addition to establishing landing zones for customers, Innofactor has also gained a lot of experience with governance in the cloud. Governance is also a part of a virtual data center. Together with Ullensaker, we're also establishing not only like the platform or Azure data centers, we're also, of course, implementing identity management and security, client and device management, and of course, Microsoft 365. All that you have seen now is part of the reference architecture that we have developed together with Ullensaker. And this is what we would like to share with interested parties, so please feel free to reach out. Now that we are well underway, we also spend time adjusting this architecture and looking into the future for new use cases that we have to support. I'm going to say a little bit about the future in the context of the municipality and leveraging of the cloud. So we are now establishing a modern IT platform in public cloud. That gives us the opportunity to, of course, follow Microsoft's pace of innovation, which is really high. We work a lot with looking into and automating as much as the processes that we are able to. Our goal is to increase service production and establish a good and smart services for the citizens of Ullensaker municipality. Especially of interest are opportunities that arise in areas such as data and integrations. There are new ways of capturing data also. There is an incredible growth in Ullensaker municipality. You have entrepreneurs establishing buildings and real estate with their own IoT platforms or their own automation. Now, most of the technology providers are providing IoT solution with both software and hardware. So what will be the municipality's role in that in the future? They will have to have a role because the buildings are going to kind of give signals and data that is important for the municipality even. A municipality possesses a large amount of structured and unstructured data. This gives us an opportunity to make service production and innovation around this data when we put this in a new platform. Such an approach could be a data-driven innovation and kind of democratizing data. In addition, we think that the citizens of Ullensaker, they expect new ways to interact with the municipality. So more and more phones, maybe speech assistance and so on is something that we're going to see in the future. So thank you, that was it from us.
Yeah, thank you very much.